present to you top 10 strongest African currencies in 2023. In this list, African kingdoms have a strong showing and some unlikely candidates make the list. A strong and a stable currency is certainly one of those drivers of a strong economy. So watch till the end to find the current strongest currency in Africa. Please do not forget to subscribe to African Boss. Africa is open for business. Just in case you're wondering what your top 10 African currencies are in 2023, well, wonder no further. Got you covered. I'm going to base these currencies against the United States dollar. The USA dollar is still the world's reserve currency, though countries are now challenging the dollar, which is being termed as de-dollarization, and Africa is at the forefront of this movement. We shall discuss de-dollarization in another video. Well, Nigeria is the largest economy in Africa in 2023 in terms of nominal gross domestic product alone, GDP. I explained GDP like an economist in my previous video. Go and check it out. Well, apologies to all the economists out there for my attempt at GDP definition. Since Nigeria is the strongest economy in Africa, you would expect that the Nigerian currency, the Naira, to be among the strongest currencies in Africa at this moment in time, maybe followed by the South African Rand? Not exactly. In fact, the top 10 strong currencies in Africa right now might surprise you. Without further ado, here are your top 10 African currencies in 2023, starting from number 10. So the first country is the Kingdom of Iswatini in Southern Africa, and their legal tender, their money, is called Lilangeni. So the value for it is, you have $1, you get about 18.50 cents of Lilangeni. The money in circulation there is issued by the Central Bank of Iswatini. The Lilangeni is subdivided into 100 cents. Iswatini is famous for being one of the last three remaining monarchs in Africa. The other kingdoms are the small Southern African Kingdom of Lesotho and Morocco in North Africa. At number 9, this is a big surprise. It's the South African Rand. If you have South African Rand maybe today, for $1 you get about 18 Rand and 48 cents. South Africa, as you know, is in Southern Africa, and the word rand was derived from this first rand, a word that means white waters ridge. The rand is divided into 100 cents. Of course, South Africa remains an economic powerhouse in Africa and is number 3 largest economy in Africa based on nominal GDP alone. At number 8, we're still in Southern Africa, and it's the Namibian dollar. The Namibian dollar is subdivided into 100 cents. So if you get $1, you get $18.40 of the Namibian dollar. The Namibian dollar came into circulation in 1993, having been using the South African Rand prior to Namibia's self-rule from South Africa in 1990. Number 7 is a rather surprising one. It's the Eritrean Nakfa. So Eritrea is in East Africa. So if $1, you get 15 Nakfas. Nakfa is divided into 100 cents. Eritrea surprisingly has one of the strongest currencies in Africa, and the currency is named after the town of Nakfa in Eritrea. The Nakfa, though, is not convertible outside of Eritrea, which is very interesting. In number 6, we return to Southern Africa with the Botswana Pula, a country that is called Bots by the Tswanas. For $1, you get about 13 Botswana Pula. So the Pula is divided into 100 Tebe. The Botswana Pula remains one of the strongest currencies in Africa. The Botswana Pula replaced the South African Rand in 1976. So you can see that South Africa really used to be the dominant force in Southern Africa. The word Pula means rain. Botswana is part of the Kalahari Desert. Therefore, rain is scarce. Pula is a blessing in Setswana and is also the motto for the country. Interestingly, Lesotho also uses the word Pula as the kingdom's motto, which also means rain or blessings in Soto. Lesotho, by the way, is one of those kingdoms in Africa. Number 5 is the Seychelles rupee. Forgive my pronunciation, but for $1, you get 13 of those Seychelles rupee. It started circulating in 1914, so it must be one of the oldest currencies in Africa. The Seychelles rupee is divided into 100 cents. 115 islands make up the Seychelles off the coast of East Africa in the Indian Ocean. Beautiful place for a visit and business, of course. In number 4, we have what I think is an iconic one, Ghanaian cedi. So we're in Ghana, in West Africa. So if you got $1, you can get about 12 cedis. The Ghanaian cedi is the official legal tender of Republic of Ghana. And cedi means cowrie shell in the Akan language. The cedi is named after shells and it's divided into 100 pesos. Though recently the cedi has seen sharp depreciation in value due to multiple factors affecting the world, it remains one of the strongest currencies with the highest value in Africa. Now let's look at the top 3. We have the Moroccan dirham. In North Africa, you get $1, you get about 10 dirhams. The money is circulated by the Bank Al Maghreb. 1 dirham is divided into 100 centimes or cents. The Kingdom of Morocco is one of those 3 monarchies remaining in Africa. 2 of the kingdoms made this list. There must be something about the kingdoms. We move on to number 2, and it's a very surprising one here. That's Libya in North Africa with the Libya dinar. So the Libyan dinar, you get about 5 dinars for $1. The Libyan dinar was introduced in 1971. Before then, the nation used some Libyan pounds during colonization. The Libyan dinar divided into 1,000 dirhams. Unlike the rest of the currencies, which are normally subdivided into 100 parts, the Libya currency has consistently been one of the strongest currencies on the continent previously. It is remarkable that after what Libya has gone through, they're still in the top 2 of the strongest currencies. Drum beat. Which country takes the biscuit? It's the Tunisian dinar, or popularly known as the TD, which is divided into 1,000 millimeters, just as the Libyan dinar, which is also divided into 1,000 dirhams. The Tunisians replaced the French franc with a dinar in 1960, and the currency has remained strong since. In fact, Tunisia's GDP was about 38 billion dollars in the previous year, as opposed to Nigeria with about 500 billion dollars as Africa's largest economy. So having a strong currency does not necessarily translate to a strong economy. So why do some of these countries have a very stable currency? They do adopt a fixed currency exchange policy, unlike countries like Nigeria with a flexible exchange policy. As to which policy is better, it's beyond the scope of this discussion. Obviously, both of them have got their own disadvantages and disadvantages, and countries choose which suits them best. So tell me what you think about this list. Leave your comments below.